Hello again, Kid in the City here, and we are back with another Get Ready With Me. If this is your first time on the channel, welcome to the Kid in the City, where I sit here and do my makeup and just run my mouth. Please do not forget to subscribe. If this is not your first time here, welcome back to my channel. You already know we're about to get into some things. So today I'm going to the DC Auto Show. I love a good car show. So I'm going to the DC Auto Show, so that's what I'm getting ready for. But of course we're going to get into some makeup. But I want to do a story time today. And the story time for today is the date that I went on. I went on a date, and my date passed out 3 times while on the date. So yeah, that's going to be the story time for today. It's like one of those situations where it wasn't funny in the moment, but it's like one of those things I can look back at and laugh, right? Because like if you can't laugh at yourself and the things that happen to you, like, are you really living life? But yeah, so we're gonna get into some makeup, and I'm gonna tell the story about how I went on a date and my date passed out 3 times. So let's get into it. So I guess I do want to preface this story with this happened like a few years ago when I was fairly new to DC, and I met this guy out. I was actually at if you're in the DC area, you know about Liddy in the City. Like there's no way you don't. But I was at Liddy in the City, and that's kind of where we met. And you know, he approached me at the bar, we had a good conversation, blah 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 blah. And for the sake of this story, I'm going to call him John. I don't want to say his real name. I don't even remember his real name, but I remember his nickname, and I don't want to say it, you know, because I'm not rude. And I know some people are sensitive, so his name for the sake we're gonna call him John. We're just gonna call him John. But yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna get into the makeup, but then I'm definitely gonna get into you know, one of the very interesting dates that I had with this man. What I found that in my life, I have very funny stories, because some of the wildest, most offhand weird things happen to me all the time. So yeah, so anyway, we're starting with the Pond's Blue Cap for moisturizer before we do our primer. We're still going to go through the steps, but we're also going to get into the things, so it'll be a little bit of both. So yeah, basically we meet at Liddy in the City. We had a good conversation, exchanged numbers, and we went on a date. So the date that he passed out on was our second date. Our first date went really well. He's funny. We went to our first date. Where did we go for our first date? Oh, we went to JoJo's. So JoJo's is a little jazz bar. It's a restaurant, JoJo's restaurant, but they have like live jazz there a lot. So we went to JoJo's on our first date. It was so cute. It was like, honestly, it was a really good first date, you know? Hence why we went on the second date. So the first date was good, you know, good conversation, all of the things, right? Just a good first date. You know, normally first dates are kind of weird and awkward, but no. It was a good first date. It was really cute. So then, of course, the first date went good, so I agreed to a second date. Because why wouldn't I? So I feel like it's gonna be hard to do, like, show my makeup and like break this up, but I'm gonna try my best because I still want to like show y'all the products. All right, so we're gonna go into the primer with the One Size Secure the Blur makeup primer. I don't use a lot of this. Okay, and I'm gonna go right into the Lancôme foundation, so I can just go ahead and start. So this is the Lancôme foundation. It's the same one I always use, the Teint Idole Ultra Wear in the shade 510 Susie, and we're gonna go in with our foundation. So if anybody knows me, or like, I'm an art girl, right? Everybody, if you know me, you know I'm an art girl. So for our second date, he was like, hey, I got tickets to this art show. So I'm like, oh, hell yeah. Like, of course. Why would I not want to go to an art show? Like, of course I want to go. So we go to this art show. Now, mind you, this is very much winter time. Like, maybe like this time of year, about a few years ago, right? So it's very much winter time. It is cold. Like, it's cold. Okay, cool. That's also to preface what the hell was going on. So we decided to meet at like this little cigar bar before the art show, which is perfectly fine. Like, you know, I'm always here for a little pregame situation. So we meet at the cigar bar, we have a few drinks, kind of talk, blah blah blah, while we're waiting for like a good time to go to the art show. So we get to the art show and it's super cute. So we met at the cigar bar, right? So I drove my own vehicle, and I think he like took the train or something like that. I think he took the metro. I don't know how to, side note, I grew up in the country, so the whole public transportation, metro, bus, train, I don't get it, right? Because I feel like it's one of those things where like you either get it or you don't, and I don't get it. So yeah, so I drove to the cigar bar and he took the metro. So again, it's freezing cold out. So I have layers, he has layers. I had like a sweater, like a long sleeve sweater, and then I had a really long vest over top of it. Again, casual, whatever. He had on a shirt, a hoodie, like a little jacket over the hoodie. Then he had a coat, so he had like 4 layers on. So when it was time for us to go to the art show, we caught a lift to the art show. So I was like, hey, did you want to put your coat in my car? And he was like, no, I don't want to put my coat in your car. Like, I'm just gonna wear it because it's cold. So again, let's keep this in mind. He has on 4 layers of clothing. 4 layers of clothing. Okay, cool. So we get to the art show and everything's fine. You know, we're going through like the installments and we're going through all the things. And again, having a good time, just kind of like, you know, enjoy. They had like live music there. It was like a whole bunch of things. And it was like this big building, and it was like 3 or 4 levels. Like each floor was something different, right? So you go to the first floor and they have like the bar and the music and people just kind of like socialize. And then you go to the second level and they have like installations there. You go to that was the kind of situation that's going on, right? Okay, cool. Let me go into my concealer. So with the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer in Mocha, we're gonna go ahead and add the concealer to the face. Okay, so we're going through the floors and everything's really cute. So the top floor of this art show is like a DJ, and there's a dance floor in the middle, and then along the sides it's a whole bunch of artists with like paintings, things that you can actually purchase, right? So the top floor is kind of like the party floor. This is because you start from the bottom and work your way up. So the people here, you know, have already gone through the installation. Like, it's people doing the electric slide. You know, this is like the party floor. So we get to this floor. At this point, we may have been there for like almost like maybe an hour and some change. Yeah, so we get to the top floor And, you know, it's just like, we're just having a good time. You know, it's nothing too crazy. We're just having a good old grand time. We're looking at the art. We're kind of like thinking like, oh, were you interested in this? Were you interested in that? Because, you know, I like to go to art shows, but I like to shop. I like to shop. So, you know, we're kind of going around like, and then what I also really appreciated about the day is that like we were still like, we weren't up under each other the whole time. Like he would go look at something and I would go look at something, then we would come back, oh, this is what I saw, let me show you this, let me show you that kind of thing, which is what I really like. Because I feel like sometimes with art you don't have to necessarily like be up under somebody. If you go to like a museum or something like that, like everybody can explore on their own, then come back together and like share, I found this, I like this, how did you feel about this kind of thing, right? So cool. Boom, go with that. I'm going to go in with the Crayon Case eyebrow pomade in ebony, and we're going to go ahead and do my brows. Okay, so we are on this last floor, and basically it's kind of like we both know that when we like this floor is the it, right? So when we leave this floor, you know, we're gonna leave, right? So you know, we're having a good time, the dance floor, you know, we've been on the dance floor, blah blah blah. So there's a stage where the DJ is. So it's like a stage, like you can sit on the stage or you can be on the stage with the DJ. So we're literally sitting on the stage, right? We're sitting on the stage, and like the DJ's behind us. This is where this is where things start very quickly going left, right? So again, I've told y'all that he has all these freaking layers of clothes on. So, and this is the funny thing, like y'all know me, if you follow me on Instagram, you know, like I do little stories and little clips, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, I like to just put little sneak peeks of stuff. So I had literally been like posting from like the installment, like different floors and stuff on my story. But then we were sitting on the stage, we were kind of like, you know, like we're sitting on the stage. So I just kind of like showed his feet and my feet and then like the dance floor, right? So it's like, you know the girls, like you just post on your story like, hey, I'm with somebody, but I'm not going to show y'all who it is kind of thing, you know, because it's still a second date. It's not that deep, right? So literally all of 2 seconds after I post that story, we're sitting on the stage, and you know, all of a sudden okay, what did I say his name was gonna be? What did I say his name was gonna be? John. So I'm like, so I don't know, I just like look at him and he looks at me, and I was about to say something. Like I turned to him to say something. I don't know if I saw something I don't know. I turned to him and say something, and all of a sudden he's looking at me and his eyes roll in the back of his head, and he just drops back. So I jump, I'm sitting beside him, so I jump to catch him, because I'm like, if he falls straight back, his head is gonna hit the wood floor of the stage. So I catch him and I'm like, John. So he's like, when I tell y'all he's out, like he's just like he's just like limp, like he's limp, bro. He's like, boom, like you know, like what do you do? So I'm freaking out. So I'm like, John. Mind you, we're in this dark ass, on this floor is dark. You know, again, this is the party floor, so it's dark as hell. The music is blaring, like I'm screaming at him, we're literally sitting right in front of the DJ booth in probably the loudest place you could possibly be. I'm screaming this man's name. I'm like, John, oh my God. Like I'm trying to look around for help. Nobody's paying attention to us. Nobody's even like noticing what's going on, because again, everybody's having a good time. You know, ain't nothing going to distract niggas from the electric slide. When that electric slide is on, baby, ain't nothing you about to do that's about to distract us from the electric slide, okay? So I'm losing my mind. So he comes to. So he's like, he comes to. And I'm like, John, are you okay? So, and this is also me, right? I've watched enough ER and Grey's Anatomy. Well, I don't watch Grey's Anatomy. House. I like House. I didn't watch Grey's Anatomy. But I've watched enough shows like that to know, like, when somebody passes out and they come back to, you need to ask them questions to make sure that they're coherent. That, you know, what's your name? What's your date of birth? Where are you? What month is it? What year is it? What city are you in? Things like that, right? So I'm hitting his ass with the questions. What is your name? Mind you, this is the second date. So I don't even know this man's last name. I don't know this man's last name, right? But you know, hey, the quiz must go on. I have to quiz this man. I have to realize, I have to like figure out if he is coherent and like what's going on. So I'm asking him his birthday, even though I don't know it. I'm asking him like, where are you? What city are you in? What year is it? Boom, 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 boom. So he's answering my questions. And I'm like, do you know who I am? Like, do you know where you are? He's like, yeah, we're on a date, blah, 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 blah. So he's like having conversation. And I'm like, okay, we have to go. I'm like, we need to go. Because you just, I'm telling him like, you just passed out. And we need to go. So I'm like, do you think you can walk? Do you think you can stand? Can you stand on your own? Do you need me to go get help? Like, we have to leave. And do you think that, you know, you can walk on your own? So he's like, yeah, I can walk on my own. So I'm like, okay, stand up. Like, stand up. We're not going to walk. We're going to take this baby steps. We're going to take this very slow. Because again, like me, another little fun fact about me is I do not do well under stressful situations. I am very much like a reactor. So I like react first and then I think, rationalize, do all that stuff later, right? Like I'm just a very reactive person. So I like normally in stressful situations, I immediately go to panic. Panic first, work it out, rationalize later. Excuse me. So I was very proud of myself in this situation because I stayed calm and I was like, okay, like I just have to do the things, right? Because now I'm scared. Like, even though I don't know this person, at the end of the day, this is who I'm with, this is who I'm out with, and I wouldn't want something to happen to him, right? I wouldn't want something to happen to anybody. I don't care if I've only known you for an hour. Like, if I'm with you somewhere, I don't want something to happen to you. So I'm like, okay, I have to stay calm. I have to stay like I can't panic right now, right? Because I don't know what's happening. I don't know, I don't know. He could be, I don't know. Anything could be happening, like, right? Like, who knows? So I'm like, hey, can you stand up? Can you walk? Do you think that, you can walk on your own? So I'm like, stand up, right? So he stands up and he's standing like directly in front of me. And I'm holding on to, I'm holding his hands. Like, his hands are in my hand. Like, no. I'm holding on to his forearms. So like, I'm holding on almost to his elbows. And I'm like, can you walk? Are you okay? Or do you think you can walk? Because again, we're on the 3rd floor. So it's like, we have to go down some steps. I'm like, can you get down the steps by yourself? Do you think you can walk? And he's like, yeah. Mind you, again, we're on the stage. So we're at one side of the building. We need to go to the other side where the exit is. Okay, we're going to sharpen up the eyebrow with the concealer. So, okay, cool. So he looks at me and he's like, yes, I can walk. Yes, let's go ahead and leave. I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm still talking to him. His eyes roll into the back of his head again and again. Now he's standing up and he drops again. So I'm like, oh my God. So he like again, I'm holding on to this man and he passes out for the 2nd time. So like, he's in my arms almost, and I just like lay him on the stage. Again, lay him on the stage. So I'm like, John, like now I'm like, okay. This is the second time you have passed out in all of 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes. And again, nobody is paying attention to us. Nobody sees the distress that I am in with this man who is passing out literally back to back. So now I'm screaming at the top of my lungs. I am like, John, help. I'm like, somebody help me, please. So I'm yelling for help, yelling for help. So this girl, the DJ saw us. So the DJ waves like for somebody to come, like, hey, these two fools are at the bottom of the stage and they need some help. So hold on, I gotta focus on my brow real quick. Cause story time aside, baby, I'm not gonna mess up my eyebrows. I really need to pluck my brows, but that'll be another day. It won't be today. That is really my favorite part of my makeup routine, when I get to sharpen my brow. All right, focus, Jonte. So I'm trying to do two things at once. I don't know if I can. I'm gonna try. See, I'm about to mess up. Okay, so he passes out again, and now the DJ is like sending someone over to us to help, because like now the DJ sees that like, okay, something's going on. I'm yelling and screaming for help like a crazy person, and somebody comes over to help, right? So I'm like, oh my god, he passed out. Like I was like, this is the second time passing out. And this girl comes over and she's like, is he epileptic? Is he epileptic? Does he have epilepsy? Does he have epilepsy? And I'm like, girl, I don't know. This is our second date. I don't know this man's medical history. So she just keeps asking that. Now keep her in mind, because her dumb ass comes up in the story a little bit later. So keep that fool in mind. She's like, oh, is he epileptic? Oh, is he epileptic? I'm like, girl, I don't know, girl. Like, what are you talking about? Just like, girl, I don't know. So somebody else, so now people are coming over and they're helping us, which I'm like, thank God. Because again, this is a grown ass man. Like, he's heavy and this is dead weight. He is heavy as hell. So okay, cool. So hold on. So he comes to for the second time, and I'm like, John, we literally have to go, and we have to go now. I'm like, you just passed out again. And he's like, what? So I'm trying to like talk to him and keep him calm, but now again, like, we have these other people who are like asking us questions. So like, he's getting a little like flustered, right? Because again, he's passed out already and he's coming to, and like, I'm trying to talk to him, they're trying to talk to him. So I'm like telling them kind of like, okay, let's give him some space, let's give him some room, you know, this is a lot. So I'm like, so we go through the whole thing again. Tell me where you are you okay? Do you think you can walk? Again, just the same thing that we already went over when he passed out the first time. I'm gonna go ahead and brush the excess powder from the pomade. So he's like, again, I know where I'm at. This is my date. Like, he's pointing to me. He's like, this is my date. I'm in Washington, D.C. I'm at whatever art show we were at. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, cool. So the people are like, okay, you know, we need to go. I'm like, I need some help walking him out. So they're like, all right, no problem. So we, again, so now I'm like holding him, like somebody's in front of us and I'm like behind him, like walking behind him, almost like with my arms through his arms, like kind of guiding him as we're trying to walk out. So we're trying to walk out. Literally, I lie to you not. This man takes all of 3.5 steps and he passes out again. Now, the difference between this one is now I'm behind, like I'm holding on to him. So when he drops and he drops that dead weight on me, guess who also drops to the floor? This girl. I drop to the floor. So now I'm on the floor. This man is passed out on the floor. And I'm like, okay, cool. So this is now getting to the point of like, okay, I'm scared and now I'm getting frustrated because this is a lot, right? I'm like, okay, this is a lot. So by this point, there's a lot of commotion going on because now people are realizing, oh, something's going on. So there's like a crowd of people rushing to us and everybody's trying to help. Everybody's trying to help. Now, mind you, I have now crawled from under him and he's laying on his back on the floor of like the dance floor, right? So I don't know who told security that there was a fight or if security just saw people like running and just assumed it was a fight. But security comes bursting through everybody and grabs me. Like I was like doing something I had no business doing. So now I'm damn near about to fight security because I'm like, first of all, don't grab me. I'm one of those people, don't touch me. I'm definitely one of those people, don't touch me. Don't put your hands on me. Do not touch me unless I want you to touch me or unless I know you for you to touch me. If you do not know me, if you don't know me, don't touch me. And especially don't grab me. Those are two very quick ways for me to go from chilling to on your ass. Real quick. I don't play the grab. I don't play the don't do that. Okay, we're gonna go with the pencil, the Precisely Benefit Cosmetics Precisely My Brow Pencil in the shade 4. So security comes over there and he's trying to act brolic with me and I'm like, yo, if you don't get your hands off me, I'm like, I need help. He has been passing out. Like, so the people are like, no, she's with him, blah, 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 blah. So security's like, okay, we got to get him out. I'm like, yeah, I need help getting him out. Like, that's the whole point. So mind you, he's still out cold. I'm sitting here damn near fighting with security. The other girl keeps saying, is he epileptic? Is he epileptic? Is he epileptic? So my patience is here. This is where my patience is, right? You see that? You see that? This is where my patience at with the shenanigans of these people stressing me out, right? So we going back and forth. I'm not really listening to nobody because, again, I'm not about to leave this man. I came with him. We're on a date. I'm not about to leave him. Like, what? No, I'm not. Like, no. So I don't really care what nobody's talking about. I don't care what nobody's doing. I don't care what they got going on. At the end of the day, I came in here with this man. I'm not leaving him. And all y'all need to back up. Like, everybody needs to back up because it's about to get ugly. It's about to get real ugly. And the girl was like, oh my God, is he epileptic? Is he epileptic? So I start cursing her out because at this point, I'm stressed out. I'm panicked. It's a lot going on. This is a high stress situation. I don't do well in high stress situations. I'm still like confused. I'm still trying to make sure he's good. I'm still trying to explain what's going on to people. It's too much. Okay? It's too much. Hold on. Pause. with our Fenty Beauty Matchstick in Espresso, I'm going to just do a slight contour on the sides. So I'm cursing old girl out because now for like the 12th time she has asked me, is he epileptic? Is he epileptic? So I turned to her. I said, is that the, I said, girl, I told you before, I don't know. This is our first date. I don't know what this man is. I don't know his medical history. She's like, so then she goes, I mean, how do you not know if he's epileptic? I mean, how do you not know that? I mean, how do you not, I mean, what kind of, no, that's what she said. She said, what kind of person doesn't know if he's epileptic or not? What kind of person are you? Like, who does that? Like, I beg your pardon? This is my second date, bro. Who goes over a full medical history on the first date? Not me. First date conversation is, what school do you go to? What do you like to do? What do you do for work? Oh, what hobbies did you have? Oh, you used to play basketball in college? Oh, those are first date conversations, baby. Not, can you please give me a detail of your medical history? Do you have a history of seizures? Are you diabetic? I have asthma. Do you want to know how many times somebody on the first date have asked me if I'm asthmatic? Not ever. So when she tries to make it seem like I'm this terrible shit person because I don't know if this nigga's epileptic or not, I blank on her. I was like, I don't know who you are and what episode of Grey's Anatomy you watch that makes you think that that's the only question that you need to ask. I was like, but stop talking to me before I beat your ass. Like, leave me alone. Leave me alone. Because, baby, I'm already stressed out. Like, I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best. Stop talking to me and shut up. Shut your mouth. I was like, if you say one more thing to me, you're getting beat up. Security almost already got beat up for putting his hands on me. He want to grab people. He's about to get mushed. You're next in line. So now her and security is going back and forth with me, going back and forth with me. In the midst of all this mess with me and my mouth cursing out 4 different people at one time, this man is still out cold on the ground, right? So all of a sudden, this woman comes through the crowd, right? And she has a bottle of water in her hand. And the bottle of water is freezing cold. The reason I know this bottle of water is freezing cold is because, you know, like, okay, you've been to a cookout, it's been like a cooler of like ice and water or whatever with the drinks, and when you get that water, it's like all that sweat is coming down, and like, you know, good sweat on a drink that's been sitting in the cooler. That's how, like, you could just look at this bottle of water and tell that it was freezing cold. So she comes through the crowd. As she's walking through, she's cracking off the top. Excuse me. So in my head, I'm still like, it's still too much going on. So I see her and she walks right past me, goes right to John and dumps the bottle of water on his face. All of a sudden, now, another preface. He's a New Yorker, right? He's from New York. She pours this ice cold, freezing cold bottle of water on this man's face. All right, so let me demonstrate. He's knocked out, right? So he's like laying back. He's knocked out. Douche, the water comes down. Here he go. Yo, who poured that water on me? Hold on, that wasn't good enough. Hold on, let me do it. Hold on, so he's like this, right? He's like this. Douche, the water hits him. Douche, he goes, yo, who poured that water on me? And in the most, like, in the most New York voice you could even think in your head. So at the time, That to me was, I didn't laugh this whole night. But looking back now, that was actually hilarious. The way he like rose from the dead. So, okay, cool. So we have him up. So I'm like, look, take these clothes off. So I'm like, take your jacket off. Take all this off. Because one girl was like, he may be overheating. So when he comes to, baby, take that jacket off. Take that coat off and take it, because he had a shirt, he had a sweat, no, he had a sweater, then a hoodie, then something over the hoodie, then a coat. Them top 2 layers, I was like, take that off. So I had those in my hand. And I'm like, okay, we're gonna need some help getting up out of here. Cause we gotta go. Like at this point, we gotta go. I'm about to fight 4 different people. The people looking at me like I'm just the worst person in the world. Like I'm just this, you know, neglectful human being, which I felt like I was doing the best I could. I felt like I was like, even looking at it now, I think I handled that situation very well. I didn't even mush anybody, okay? I didn't mush anybody. Now, I was very reckless with the mouth. There was a few people got cursed out that night just because I felt like they weren't listening to me and like they were asking me these ridiculous questions. Now, mind you, this is like post Travis Scott Astro World tragedy. So, you know, nobody's playing games with people passing out at events. So we get outside. So we finally like get outside. They get him downstairs. Now, like, I think the water definitely cooled him down, and then us taking those layers off of him. Cause now he's like, you know, we got to the exit, no problems. We get down the stairs, no problem. Now we're outside, and they like pull him to the side. They got him signing waivers. They're like interviewing him. EMS and all that is interviewing him or whatever. And the security comes up to me, the one that I cursed out because he put his hands on me. He comes up to me. He's like, yo, I just want to apologize, da da da. And at this point, I'm not really listening to nobody, right? Because low key, I'm still looking for the little wench that was talking about something. Oh my God, how do you not know? I'm still looking for her because like, it's adrenaline pumping. Like at this point, I'm ready for all the smoke. I'm ready for whatever. So I'm low key like looking for her. I was like, is she a part of the team? Like, who she with? She coming outside too? Cause like, yeah, let's get to it. Because who does she think she was talking to? You know, when we was in there. Like, if she got a problem, like we can really get into some things. Cause again, it's just like straight adrenaline. Like I probably. Like, if I would have fought anybody that night, that would have been very dangerous just because it was too much adrenaline going through me. Anyway, so we get through that, and the security is like, yo, like, what's going on with you? I'm like, what's going on with me? Like, what's going on with y'all? Y'all making it seem like I'm like this terrible person. I'm like, this is our 2nd date, bro. He was like, you know, da, da, da. He's asking me like, how long have y'all known each other? Do you know him? I'm like, bro, now they're asking me, how long have you known him? And da, da, da. I'm like, this is our 2nd date. Like, what you want me to, how long I've known him from when I met him at the club until now? Are you stupid? Okay, now with the one size ultimate setting powder in the dark deep, I'm just going to go in and set my under eyes before I bake. So we're just gonna do that really quick. So they're like, how long have you known him? I'm like, bro, I keep telling y'all the same thing over and over. I don't know if y'all are dumb, deaf, or blind, but like, this is our 2nd date. So that's how long I've known him, long enough for this to be the 2nd date. Like, that's it. So they're like, oh, has he taken any drugs tonight? And I'm like, no, we haven't taken any drugs tonight. They're like, tell us right now if he's taking drugs tonight. I'm like, no, bro, we have not taken drugs tonight. He was like, how do you know? I was like, I've been with him for hours. Because again, we were at the cigar lounge before we even came to this. So I'm like, bro, I've been with him for hours. I would have known if he took drugs. Like, he has not taken drugs. So they were like, oh, has he been drinking? I'm like, we had like again, the drinks that they had at that event were like wine, little coolers and stuff like that. So we had like light drinks. I was like, look, I don't know why this man passed out. I don't know what caused him to pass out, but y'all need to get out my face and like stop making it seem like me or him did something. Like, the man passed out, he's not on drugs, like, and stop asking me and stop making it seem like I'm lying about something or like I'm like withholding information from y'all. All right, now with our crayon case chalk dust and the letter O, I'm gonna go ahead and bake. So they still got him to the side, like interviewing him. I don't even know what questions they asking him. I don't know what he's got going on. So I'm like, look, sir, stop questioning me. Stop talking to me. Like, at this point, I just want to make sure that he's okay, so that way we can just go on about our night. Because at this point, like, there's nothing else to talk about. So they're like getting him to sign some waivers and stuff, I guess, to say that he's okay. Blah blah blah. I don't even know what they have this man signing or whatever. I'm not sure. I have no clue. All I know is I'm over it. I'm very much stressed out, and at this point I just want to grab him and go, right? Like, okay, like we're done here. So they sit us down and they're like, hey, you know, we just want to make sure everything's okay, blah, blah, blah. So then the security, now that I have cursed out probably 4 times at this point, he comes over. So it's me, John, we're sitting at this like little picnic table that they have outside. They had like food trucks and stuff out there. So it was like, you know, a little table for where people were eating. So we sit at this table and they're just still asking him, because I'm like, well, I walked away from the security guard. I'm like, I'm not talking to you no more. I'm gonna go over here and make sure this man is okay. So go over there to where he was, and they're still like interviewing him or whatever. So I'm like, hey, are you okay? Do you feel better? Like, do you know what's going on? I was like, this man's been asking me if you're on drugs. I told him that you have not taken no drugs. I'm like, they playing with us. Like, what's going on? So the security guard that I've been cursing out for the last 20 minutes, he come over there, he's like, yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? She been holding you down. She been making sure you straight, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I thought she was gonna fight me a few times. Like, yeah, you got a real one. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Stop talking to him and stop talking to him about me, because we ain't cool. Ain't shit sweet over here. Ain't shit sweet over here, because you was just talking shit 2 minutes ago, talking about something, this man was on drugs and we've been on a bender. Shut up. Like, stop. Shut your mouth. I don't tolerate disrespect. I don't handle disrespect very well. I'm not at that level of maturity where people can be funny and try to I feel like people being funny, they playing with me, and it's cute and it's sweet. No, it's not. No, it's not. Stop talking to him. Stop talking. Well, I walked away, so you can't talk to me no more, but stop talking to him and stop trying to like make it a kiki, like, oh yeah, you got a real. Shut up. Shut up. So we go through all that, boom, 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 boom. They still like asking him questions, trying to calm him down. I'm gonna go with my eyeliner now. This is the NYX Super Skinny Eye Marker in Carbon Black. And I'm just gonna do a quick liner on the lash line for my lashes, nothing too crazy. And I definitely have to focus for this. I can't talk and do this at the same time. I will say that I can't talk and do this, baby. I'm sorry. Did take a little focus. Ooh. Okay, so now with the clean little puffer, I'm just going to go ahead and actually I'm going to brush away the excess bake, and then I'm going to just press the excess into the skin with my little puffer. So then we're just going to go right here. Perfection. Okay, what part was I in the story? Oh yeah, so we get outside and again, security is trying to act like they want to be cool with me. I'm not really having it. I'm still kind of pissed off that they tried to make it seem that, you know, I was in the wrong or John was in the wrong, when it wasn't the case at all. We're gonna go in with our MAC Studio Fix NW45 to go ahead and buff out the look with our powder foundation. And I'm gonna use my big fluffy. So again, we going back and forth. So they're like, oh, do y'all need anything to eat? Do y'all need anything to drink? I'm still like on 10. I'm still very much like on 1,000, because again, this was like super stressful for me. It was a lot. So we go through all that. Okay, cool. So what is going on up here? Hold on. So I'm still very much in the headspace like, are you okay? Like, he's like, oh, I think I overheated. Because first of all, so we're sitting there with the people and I'm like, hey, you know, they were like, yeah, we think he just overheated or whatever. So I'm like, okay, so man, me, right? I don't know. I'm always gonna like be a little childish, right, in situations. I haven't reached that level of maturity yet where I don't know how to not make a joke. So literally the man's like, you know, did you overheat, whatever, whatever. So he's like, oh yeah. So I'm like, well, how many layers, like what exactly did you have on? This man proceeds to show me all the layers that he was wearing. And I was just like, I'm like, they were like, oh, well, clearly you overheated. Like, you have all these layers on. So I turned to him. I said, who do you think you are, Indiana Jones? And when I said that, everybody kind of bust out laughing. He didn't laugh. He didn't laugh. I didn't laugh. But I was like, yeah, because, like, you know, I wasn't even trying to be funny. It just, I just blurted the joke out. I mean, and to me, it wasn't even a joke. It was like why do you think 4 layers is necessary? When I offered for you to keep your jacket in my car at the cigar bar, like, why did you even think all these layers was necessary? And I mean, maybe it was just poor taste, but I feel like I've been through enough that night to make a joke. I earned the right to tell a joke at that point in the night. Like, I had thoroughly earned my right to have a little kiki, tell a little joke, slip a little joke in there. I'd earned that. Me personally, that's what I think. Okay, now with the Glowish by Huda Beauty Luminous Pressed Powder in 13 Extra Rich, I'm just gonna add to the contour a little bit. And then definitely put some contour on the forehead. So again, we go through that and I'm just like, okay, well, this is clearly where the night comes to an end, right? Like this is it. So I'm like, all right, you know, let's call a Uber back to my car. I was like, because, you know, we can go back to my car and then, you know, I can take you to, you know, the station. So you, because again, he caught the train, I think, or the metro or whatever it's called. That's what he bought. Like, that's how he got to the cigar bar. So I'm like, you know, of course, I'm not just gonna leave you. Like, you know, we'll just go back to my car and then I'll just drop you off from there. So we're like waiting for our lift to come, and he's just like, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, you know, there's nothing to apologize for. Like, of course, this is not something that, you know, you did I don't even think you did this intentionally. I know you didn't do this intentionally. Like, I'm pretty sure you're embarrassed as much as I'm embarrassed. Like, it was a lot, right? But you don't have to apologize for it. Like, this isn't your fault. It's just, as crazy as it is, it's just one of those things that just, like, you know, it's just something crazy that happened or whatever. So he's like, oh, you know, I don't know if you want a second date. I mean, a third date. He was like, but I just feel like, you know, we can't, like, it can't end like this, right? Like, this can't be the last time we see each other when I passed out 3 times on a date. So I'm like, you know, I'm open to another date. Like, you know, because again, this is not your fault. And, you know, he was really nice. Like, to this day, like, shout out to him. He was super, super nice. He was funny. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, this is just, and I mean, up until the point where he started passing out, we were having a really good time. Like, I did enjoy his company. So it's just like, you know, this isn't something that you could help. Why would I not talk to you anymore because of this situation, right? Like, it's not, you know what I'm saying? 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 Anyway, now we're gonna go on with the Juvia's Place, the Saharan Blush Palette Volume 2, and I'm gonna go in with Leena for the blush. Cause again, this isn't something that, like, you did intentionally, or like even something that you could help. Like, heaven forbid I would have been on a date and, like, I passed out. It's just like, bro, how can I help that, you know? So on the Uber back, you know, I was like, yeah, like, I'm completely open to another date. If you want to go on another date, like, we can absolutely do that. So he's like, all right, cool. So the ride back in the Uber was a little awkward. And, you know, I was just I'm very much like, what's done is done. Like, let's just kind of lighten the mood. I don't like to dwell on stuff. Even, you know, as weird as it was, I just wanted him to, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't dwell on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't make it weirder by, you know, making it a thing. Let's not make it a thing. Let's not make it a thing. That was just my thing. Like, let's not make it a huge deal, like a huge debacle. Cause it's not. It's something that happened. Would I ever want it to happen again? No. But it's something that happened. It's out of our control. Let's just try our best to move past it, right? Okay, cool. Now with our Black Radiance True Complexion 3D highlighter palette, we are gonna go in with First Class and Paradise, the lavender and the gold for our highlight situation. And I'm gonna start with First Class lavender one, and then I'm gonna put Paradise on top. Let's see how that works. So, yo, this lavender is a fool. Like, it will forever be a fool to me. So anyway, so I'm trying to, like, lighten the mood as much as possible. You know, try to, you know, I don't know, make him feel better. Because, I mean, I honestly, I couldn't imagine how he felt, right? Like, I felt crazy and I felt awkward and you know, about to be in multiple altercations with different people, but I couldn't imagine how he felt, how scary that was for him. Like, you know what I'm saying? I could not imagine how he felt. So I was just definitely trying to be, like, cognizant of that, and I didn't want to, you know, I just wanted to, you know, make him feel a little bit better about the situation, because I know he probably felt really weird and awkward. And even though in that moment I was like, no, it's okay, it's not your fault, you know, it's like one of those things like, I know this girl is probably never gonna talk to me, I'm probably never gonna see her again kind of thing. And I didn't want him to feel that way, right? Because I'm like, you know, you're not a bad guy, it's okay, you know, it's one of those things like, what can you do? It's all right. First of all, these two together, do you see that? I'm literally like glowing in the dark. I love that for me. Highlight is like my favorite. So this is like, whoo, that's a highlight, baby. This a highlight. And then I just use the second brush to just blend it out a little bit more on those chunks. Oh my Lanta, baby. Just let your soul glow. Ooh, let your soul glow. I know my neighbors are probably like, the hell is wrong with that girl? All we do is just hear her acting a fool. But that's okay. I'm gonna do that anyway because that's how I am. And then just going on the chin a little more. Forehead. Again, same order. Lavender first, then the Paradise. I bit my lip. Y'all see that? Oh, terrible. Blend it out. This is just like the prettiest highlighter combo. Okay. Yo, that is, like, do y'all see that highlight? I love making that little moaning noise. Could you imagine if like somebody moaned like that? If somebody moaned like that for real? Yikes. Okay, so today's lash is, oh shoot, it's the I Envy Luxury Mink 3D lash in the style 22. So this one is like a short long kind of excuse me situation. It's the number 22. That's gonna be the lash for today. Oh wee, baby, this highlighter is beaming. There we go. I like that a little bit better. Just, you know, for the grills. One time for the grills, 2 times for the grills, 3 times for the grills. All right, anyway. So yeah, like I honestly, like I could only imagine like what he was going through, how he felt, like again, even like how he tells the story, because for a lot of the action, you know, he was out cold, right? And I don't know, we never really kind of talked about it because it was like one of those things like, you know, I'm pretty sure if we would have like kept dating, it would have been one of those stories that we tell like, oh my gosh, da, 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 you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I did actually go on a 3rd date with him, and oddly enough, right? Oddly enough, the 3rd date was the weirdest date. And the 3rd date to me was like, when I walked away from the 3rd date, I was like, yeah, I can't, I'm not, he's not gonna see me again, right? Like that's when it was just like, yeah, the 3rd date was too weird for me, which is like, how can it get any weirder than him passing out 3 times? Like, I don't don't think him passing out 3 times is weird. I think it was unfortunate. I think it was different. But it wasn't really weird to me. The third date was yeah, the third date was the deal breaker for me when I was like, oh yeah, no, I can't go on a date with him anymore. The third date, oh god, it was so horrible. I don't want to say it was horrible. It was just awkward. Yeah, the third date, okay, so we'll say this. The second date was weird with him passing out, but I could put up with weird. Awkward, I can't do awkward. And the third date was for sure awkward. First date was great. Second date, him passing out was weird. Third date was awkward, cringy, like I couldn't do it. So unfortunately, the third date was a dub for the kid. After the third date, it was a dub. Like that was the last time he saw me. And I did see him after. So like after, of course, we stopped talking. Like I went to another Liddy event. When was this? New Year's Eve 2022. I went to Liddy's New Year's Eve party at 12 Stories. So usually at midnight, I, you know, call my brother, call some of my friends, and like, you know, wish them Happy New Year. Of course, like you call people at midnight. So I if you know 12 Stories, it's like, it's the 12th story is where everything is. So it's just like an elevator straight up. So I came downstairs and it was raining outside. So the security guard kind of let me sit in his chair on the inside, and I was like making my calls, and I saw him. He was leaving, like, so he got off the elevator and like walked past me, and we just made eye contact. We didn't say anything. I didn't speak. He didn't speak. He was with a girl. Like, I didn't say anything. He didn't say anything. We just kind of just like looked at each other, and then like that was it. And I was like, oh, that's yikes, you know. But it wasn't strange. It wasn't weird. And honestly, I'm glad that he didn't speak, and I'm glad that we was both on the same type of time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna speak, you not gonna speak, you not speaking, I'm not speaking, perfect kind of thing. I'm glad we were on the same type of time, because I didn't want to speak. I didn't want to have that, because the third day was just so awkward. Like, I didn't want to have an awkward encounter, you know what I'm saying, on top of that. So, but yeah, that was a lot. It was honestly a lot. But the funniest part was when she doused him with that water. He was like when I tell you, like Undertaker, like, yo, who threw that water on me, son? It's like, I see it in my head. Like, I'm demonstrating it as best I can. But like, bro, I wish like I could like lay on the floor, like show y'all how he raised up. It was hilarious. It was hilarious. And I'm pretty sure he won't see this video, because I'm pretty sure he won't. But again, at the time it was not funny, but it's one of those things. It's like, yeah, I can laugh about it now. Well, I call my best friend, well, my best friend at the time, because yeah, I called my best friend like the next day to tell her about my date. And I was like, girl, because you know what I'm saying, when your friends know you going on a date, of course they be like, okay girl, how was the date, like what was cool, you know what I'm saying. The girls, we're gonna recap, right? We are gonna give the details, like, oh, it was cute and we did this and da 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 da. And she knew it was a second date, and like the first date went really well. So you know what I'm saying, she was like, I'll never forget, I had called her the next morning, and she was like, oh yeah, she was like, yes girl, she was like, I thought she was gonna call me last night, but you know, how was the date? And I was like, he passed out 3 times. And she just like was on the floor laughing. I was like telling her the story, because you know, the first person you tell the story to gets the best version of that story, because it's just like, it's right on the front of your mind. Like, you got all the details, you got everything. So whoever you tell the story to first, they get the best story. She got the best story. And I was just like, Yeah, man. That was one for the books. Okay, we're going in with the lash. Oh, baby, this is a lash. This is a little bigger than I thought it would be, but we're gonna go with it. I ain't no punk. I ain't scared of a lash, baby. Some of like the sound effects and the things I do just like off impulse are very interesting to me. And I found it very funny. Let me try to hurry up before my battery try to die, per usual. Oh, I started watching Griselda too. Sophia, I feel like this is gonna be her bag, honey. I feel like this is gonna be her bag. So far, it's good. I already thought she was super funny on Modern Family, so I love seeing her in like a different type of role. Yeah, I think this is gonna be her little Baggington. Isn't that a cute lash? I know, it is. Now I feel like I can't like stop doing that. I don't know why that tickles me. That tickles me. That tickles me. That tickles me. Damn, I can't get this. There we go. Well, I need to make sure I go get gas today while I'm out too. What time is it? Oh my God, it's 12:46, 1 o'clock. Oh my Lord. Oh my word. I did not realize it was that late. It's really 1 o'clock. Whew. I have some very interesting date stories. Like, I have some very, very interesting date stories for sure. I don't know why. I really don't know why. I don't know. It just be like weird stuff happening to me. I don't know. Oh God, this lash is getting crazy. Okay, so I'm gonna have to fix the inner part of this lash, but I'll do it once I put this one on because I don't got time. And I'm not taking the whole lash off. I'm gonna do my little trick for the inner eye. I'm gonna do my little trickety trick because who got tea? Excuse me. All right, let's go in with the other lash. Okay, so now I'm gonna put some glue right on the inner part of the holder. And then put it on the inner part of my eye, and then fix this lash that's not sticking. Let's leave you out. All right, so for the lippy today, we are going in with Juvia's Place for the lip altogether. It's the Juvia's Place Luxe Liner in the shade Scorpio, which is a nice brown. And then we're also going in with her lipstick in the shade Toffee, which is also a nice brown. So it's going to be a nice nude lippy situation going on. So let's get into it. Oh no, this isn't, I'm sorry, I grabbed the wrong one. So Scorpio is the burgundy-ish one, but I want the brown. So this is actually going to be Cola, yes. That's going to be the one that we're going in with. The lip liner that we're going in with. I grabbed the wrong shade. And here we go. Okay, so now I'm just gonna go back and just add a little more liner just to blend it a little bit more. I love a good brown lippy. And this is going to be matte. I'm not going to put any gloss on. And I'm just going to go in with my mascara just to blend my lashes just a little bit more. And then we will be done. Okay, so now I'm gonna go take my hair. Oh my god, we gonna finish it. Oh my god, all nighter setting spray. I don't know what setting spray. Okay, so now I'm gonna go take my hair out, get myself together, and I will be back with the final look. Okay, so this is the final look. A nice neutral beat with a nice old lip. I do want to start getting into some eyeshadows and stuff like that, you know, putting a little a little drama, a little action on the lid. But again, going to a car show today. I'm super excited. It's my absolute favorite. And another story time. It was crazy, it was wild, but you know, would it be me if it wasn't? But yeah, that's basically it. Thank you so much for tuning in. Do not forget to subscribe, like, comment, share. Follow me on social media, all platforms, The Kid in the City. And that is it. Until next time, I guess I will see you when I see you. Thank you so much for tuning in. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here with the kid. And for that, I thank you. Until next time, bye.